Hi. You can correct your 1099s in QuickBooks Online after you filed them with the IRS. Let's go over what you can correct, how to correct your 1099s, and how you can e-file them with QuickBooks Online. Here are some important notes about correcting 1099s. You must file corrections in the same way you filed the original forms. So if you e-filed your 1099 form, you must also e-file your corrected 1099 form. You can only send corrections after the IRS accepts the original form. QuickBooks Online only supports corrections for 1099 boxes, box amounts, forms types, and contractor information like name or tax identification number. If you're updating an address in QuickBooks, you do not need to file a 1099 correction. If you need to correct the state on a 1099, please contact the affected state directly. For more info on IRS guidelines, visit irs.gov. To correct 1099s, search for 1099s and select Completed Forms. Here you'll see a list of the 1099s you filed in QuickBooks Online and their IRS status. They must have a status of Accepted before you can begin. Select Correct next to the form you want to fix. You can only fix one form at a time. You'll repeat these instructions for each correction. Confirm your company info hasn't changed. The corrected form must have the same info about your company as the original. Review the accounts and boxes listed. These are the accounts that represent what you paid to your contractors and their corresponding 1099 boxes. To delete an account, select Remove next to the row. Please note, if you want to void your 1099s, remove all box mapping. Choose Select Accounts to change or add accounts. To change the 1099 box an account is mapped to, select the drop-down next to the account and select an appropriate 1099 NEC or MISC box. You can map multiple accounts to the same 1099 box. Select Next. Note, if you change your 1099 accounts or boxes, you may affect other 1099 forms. Check each contractor's 1099 as you may need to fix them too. Next, you'll review your contractor's info and corrected payment total. If your contractor info is wrong, select Edit to fix it. Because the IRS doesn't recognize address changes as a part of 1099 corrections, any changes you make to the contractor's address won't appear on the corrected 1099. Note, if the contractor payment total is now below the 1099 threshold, they'll no longer need a 1099, and the corrected total will be 0. If the corrected total is still wrong, you can run reports to help you find the transactions you may need to fix. Then you can return to finish correcting your form. Select Next. Review each 1099 box amount here, or select Preview to see the draft form. Select Next. Here you'll see info about your state filing requirements. If you're filing in a state that accepts combined state and federal 1099s, you'll see that QuickBooks will correct both filings. If you're filing in a state that requires separate state and federal filings, QuickBooks will only correct the federal form. You'll need to take additional steps on your own to correct the state filing. Select Next. Note, we won't send copies of corrected 1099 forms to your contractors. You must provide a copy to the contractor yourself. When you're ready to file, select E-File Corrected Form. Now your 1099 correction is complete. Select View and Print 1099s to see a list of your 1099s, or go to Expenses, then 1099s, then Completed Forms anytime to view copies of your 1099s. From here, you can print the corrected 1099s and get direction on the next steps to take for contractors that need additional state 1099 correction filings.